I'd like to start off the Q&A with a little bit about the Clear Summit that's coming up, especially about, there's a lot of questions about the ClearNode and the package and the prices, etc., etc. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna share screen. So I think I'm gonna write out like a summary of this piece. So with all the links, so you guys can go back and look at it in detail. This is the page where you can find out more about what is the ClearNode. So essentially, this is the homepage of the ClearNode. What it does is a reliable way and a secure blockchain platform with the next generation dApp marketplace. So that's going to end, it's a combination of a server, hardware, security, software, managed services all in one. And the ClearNode includes first 4 services to harden your system, consolidate resources, secure your network, and monetize underutilized resources. That means if there's extra storage that you're not using it, you can actually monetize it and earn Clear coin from it. So the ClearNode is an easy and secure and reliable way to deploy blockchain nodes and dApps. So there's a lot more information. I suggest that you go in and kind of just go through and browse through this whole page. And I'm going to share as much as I know based on the digging I did. I'll give you a little bit of a background. Richard already mentioned Clear Center has been operating for since 2011. A lot of the technologies, hardware, everything is running. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of technologies already running in the enterprise place. So it's no difference with this ClearNode. As you can see that these units, there's bigger unit for like enterprises with huge server, and there's a home-based unit, okay? And these are the prices that available on the enterprise side, and these are not Clear rewards eligible. What does it mean by Clear rewards eligible? Is, as you know, with our current social selling system with ClearUnited is when we recommend a phone to somebody, 40% of the phone sales goes to the field. So seven circles, we get paid for 7 circles. So 10% on the first circles, 10% on the second circles, 10, 10, 5, 5, that's 30, and then 1, 1, 1, that's 33. And then 7% go into a global profit sharing pool that can be shared on a monthly basis with the influencers that has at least 3 people in their circles. So these prices does not reflect the Clear eligibility for the reward. And so just keep in mind, bear with me, the smallest unit, I was just kind of looking at the specs. You're welcome to look at the spec. The smallest unit here, it's the current price that's showing on the ClearNode site for $15.99. However, if you look at we all have our store link, right, that we can share with people. When they click to buy the phone, we all get rewards. So this is my personal site. And you're familiar with this page where you can get the phone, etc., right? You can now pre-order the ClearNode now. And you see the prices is $5,999. Why is it $5,999? Because this ClearNode is Clear reward. You can see that there's a ClearUnited eligible. That means if you recommend someone to get one of these units, you get paid 10% on your first circle, and etc. up to 7 circles. So it's ClearUnited eligible. So to be make it available to people in the ClearUnited, the current price right now is $5,999. Now it's still in the pre-order, pre-release phase. It right now is already 21% funded, and when it's close to 100% funded, the company will decide to roll it out. And so the current timing is about 2 months. We are still in the pre-launch. The company plans to launch officially the company on September. So that's kind of the timeline here. So you see a discrepancy between the prices. So that means the unit is going to be a lot more expensive when we roll out officially in September. And by being invited to this meeting, by being a ClearUnited member, we're all founders of this amazing community. Michael is actually making it very exceptional to be affordable for all of us to get in. So I'm going to just show you a couple more, these boxes in my way, is that as I say, they are selling these units at 1,599. These are not Clear Rewards eligible. So that's kind of like the bare bone cost for the company, right? And then let's just shift focus to the Clear Summit. And all this all information, just bear with me, right? So there's different ways to get the ticket for the summit. That's happening at the beginning of September. Different packages with just having the summit, having all the access to all the replays and everything, or attending the summit in person like this. This is the physical summit ticket, including accommodations and all the meals and stuff. Now you will see there is a Clear Summit special with the note. It's 2,499. And these prices, including the summit, if you attend in person with the accommodation and meals and everything, and the Clear Note, currently is at 2,499. And there's one more thing. This 2,499 price is Clear Rewards eligible. So the company is in the process of making a decision of either making this not eligible, rewards eligible. So, and he already confirmed to me, I'm trying to get as much information available to everybody, is if they decide, which is very soon, it could happen anytime right now, it could be a day or two or how many days. Now, when they decide not to make this Clear Rewards eligible, that means that we're gonna get, if you buy the ticket right now, you're gonna get 40% return because the company doesn't have to pay out the rewards to the field. So if you're interested in getting the note, the real price is actually 1,500 or 1,499 because we'll get like $1,000 back. That's 40% of 2,499, right? Because it's not Clear Rewards eligible, right? That is the steal of the price for 1,499, including the summit and everything, including ClearNode, compared to the pre-release price of 5,999. You can do the math. Even at the 60% of that is $3,600. And the advantage of this note is not only provide us the hardware, the software, the managed services for us to manage to secure our home, to have the storage, and then I think one of the bonus things most of us are interested in is also have the ability to monetize with the excess storage and participate to be part of the blockchain network out there and be able to generate ClearCoin. And ClearCoin, it's going to be listed just like any of the cryptocurrencies out there. We don't know exactly how the market price is going to be driven by the market. There's so much on the pipeline this company is building. So my recommendation to you is, I'm going to open to questions shortly. If you're interested in getting one of this note, I can tell you with pretty high confidence that the price is going to go up anytime. We don't know when. I try to ask Michael, like, when is it going to go up? He just wouldn't say. He just, it's going to go up when they're ready. I don't know how much it is. I can tell you at least, if it's not Clear eligible, at least the price is going to be 1,599, which is 1,499 in the current summit price. The 1,499 price is including the summit and the accommodation and the meal and everything, all that stuff. So it's in a great discount right now. I'm going to open to questions now. You guys have any questions on that? Or Richard and Quentin, please jump in to add to what I just explained about the ClearNode.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, pretty much did a good explanation to me. Yeah, those nodes are definitely a game changer. Um, I definitely want one, 1000%. Because you just, I like anything that's passive income. So if I can get passive income plus protect my whole household from, it's like a firewall, right? Like, so I'm digitally protecting my house and getting paid for it. It's a no-brainer for me. No brainer whatsoever.
And I just want to add one thing, and some of you might not be aware that the rigs out there that people are using so-called mining coin, there are rigs out there mining Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't know, the last thing I heard, like a while ago, like maybe half a year ago, people were buying rigs for Ethereum for like $10,000. I don't know how much they're selling right now, and you have to pay gas fee and all that stuff. Even for coins that I never heard of, there's a lot of coins out there promising the whole wide world. They're selling for like 5,000, 6,000 and more. So I just know based on the little that I know that at 1,500 right now, it's a steal. That's all I know. So I'm getting one. So Richard, do you have anything to add? Like you guys are more
Yeah, I will.
experienced in the crypto world.
Yeah, I will say that when it comes to, there's a big difference what they call consensus protocols. Bitcoin, the first decentralized cryptocurrency, is built off what's called a proof of work consensus protocol, which takes a huge amount of energy because you need more and more and more computers that are run by electricity. So the more computers you have, the more electricity you burn. And so that's why it takes more and more energy to keep the Bitcoin network running. Our coin, and there's some other consensus protocols out there, which go like proof of stake, which is actually you're holding uh, an amount of the coin in escrow, if you will, to run that consensus protocol, proof of stake. Our coin is due to run what's called proof of space or proof of life, which basically means your hard disk space, as opposed to the energy to run these algorithms, are what is running the consensus protocol. So ours is very efficient, it's very cost efficient, it's very fast. I know I might put this slide into my next presentation, the comparison between Bitcoin, ARC token, and let's say, I think the coin was Cardano,
Yeah.
and Ethereum, I think they compare.
Yep. Yeah.
It's lightning fast and much more cost efficient. And so, not to worry, folks, you're not gonna, your electricity bill is gonna be fine if you get a node from ClearUnited. So that's all I
Yeah.
have to add.
I mean, just one more piece. Just as you were saying it, you reminded me, and I'm gonna try and say this in a sort of non-technical way, but another difference to sort of take what Richard said and kind of put it in layman's terms is that when you buy, let's just say Bitcoin or whatever miner, when you buy that miner, remember you're competing against companies that have thousands of miners. So first of all, you're literally, this device you have, this one miner you might have at home, let's say you're mining Bitcoin. The chances of you getting awarded a Bitcoin is determined by a lot of things. It determines by how much computational power you actually have, like how many miners do you have in your house. If you have just one, you could potentially get rewarded one Bitcoin every year, if that. Big difference when you have this device, because it's going to proof of space. The fact that you just have it sitting in your house by default, whatever they work out your payment to be, it will be that. Versus a miner, you may pay a couple $1,000s for, and you might not even get a Bitcoin. You can mine other coins, but you're still competing against companies that have warehouses full of these miners that you just bought one of. So to me, when I look at that, that tells me that, you know what? It's a much better bang for my buck, number one. Number two, this device is not just doing one thing, like mining for Bitcoin. When you buy a miner, not to go off tracker, but when you buy a miner for crypto, it only mines. It can't protect your house. It can't do none of that because it's literally taking all the computational power and putting it at 100% all the time. That's why they sound a lot like, it's because the computer is literally being stretched 24/7 just to win this computational problem that it's doing. Whereas this device you're getting from Clear, it'll be just like any other computer you have. You won't even know it's on. It's just back there taking up the space because what's happening is you are holding other people's data and you're charging them for it. That don't require any space. Once you put it on, it's done. There's nothing else to do. So that allows this device to do more than one thing. For example, firewall your house, protect you from incoming, outgoing data. At the same time, allow other people to store data on there. So it has sort of this multifaceted function versus, you know, a miner, if you would compare it to a miner. So I just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully that makes sense.
Oh my God, I love that, Quentin. Thank you so much. That's just so, I'm learning so much from you guys. And the thing is, I tend to keep things simple, right? If you understand data is the new oil, like we're talking about the future, the decentralized world, the internet, it's all about data. What does data need? Data needs storage. So do you see the connection between the storage here? We're building the biggest decentralized network out there. We're part of it. We are contributing it, and we are creating this whole thing together. We're building this coin all together.
Yep.
It's just so exciting. And also, you just saying about the scalability. And also, we're not wasting energy. You know, one of the reasons why some of you might not know, like how Bitcoin got shut down from 65,000 down to, it's like last time I looked, it was like down to 33 now, just like an hour ago, is because there's this discussion initiated by Elon Musk saying about the energy consumption, green energy, and all that stuff. There's a lot of things going over there. And our coin, our system, it's going to be energy efficient, has multi-purposes, and has a purpose, and then it's scalable. And then this is something everybody needs. We're not just wasting energy for nothing. This is like everybody needs, because we are cranking up more and more and more and more data.
Yeah.
And I do have a question for you guys, Richard or Quentin. One of the people have been asking is, I'm not technical. Like, do I know how to use this machine? And I'm a little intimidated. Like, is it hard to set up? Is it going to be? So can you just give us your best guesstimate on that?
If I could give my little guesstimate. I'm gonna make the assumption that if I'm gonna roll out a system like this worldwide, it's like, I'm trying to think of another system. Just think of any, what's an example? Basically, I'm assuming they will have two interfaces. One where it's just, they ask you questions, and as you answer, it configures your device for you. It might be simple like, how many people in your house? Or how much, you know, what's the range of how many devices in your house? 5 to 10, you click this, and I'm assuming it'll set up different things for you. And they'll probably have the ability for an alert to come up. Do you want to allow this to come into, and that's one way. On the back end, they will also, or not in the back end, they'll probably, when it first starts, have the ability to say, are you an advanced user? Click here, because an advanced user is going to do all this fancy stuff. If you're not, I'm hoping they will have sort of a wizard, you know, like a setup wizard. That's usually, you know, the best way to set up things of this nature. You can think of it like your router in your house. When you buy a router for your house, a brand new, like let's say you got internet access, you got a new router. Most of these routers now, you look, they come with a little wizard. You just, you know, what's the name you want your internet access? What's the password? And they just ask you questions, and the questions are going to dictate the configuration on the back end. But they always have an option, even with these routers, to say, I'm advanced and I want to go in and do my own thing. I'm going to guess and hope they do something along those lines. That'll be my answer.
And even now, even with the phone, Quentin, they use remote desktop protocols.
Yep.
So an expert can remote into your machine and probably configure it for you. I mean, we've had that done with our phone as well.
Yes.
To the point where you give consent to an expert over in their help desk to help you configure your phone, and I assume can also configure your nodes for you, or troubleshoot if you run into any problems.
And
maybe that built in, but I'm only speculating at this point. But
yes.
knowing how Michael ran managed service providers in the past, then I would safe to assume that managed services will happen also with ClearUnited.
And my last little piece as well to that would be, there would be an opportunity, I would think. Let's say they roll this out with lots of people. There'll be an opportunity for, imagine all of us just coming up with a guide, or hey, this company here will configure it for you. And you know, there's services like that as well.
Yeah, I think David has his hand up.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing before we take the next question, is that That's the advantage of the summit, right? My understanding is either it would be great if you can attend in person. I would love to. They will actually help you configure your node during the summit. So there's going to be on hand, there's going to be people there. Or if you're going to be attending the summit online, there's going to be people guiding you through to set up the node. That's what I was told, right?
Yeah.
And then ongoing, there's going to be support there to answer questions. And of course, we have our own Richard and Quentin here on a weekly basis to help us answer all the questions. So I'm just so excited. I can't wait, literally. Go ahead. Who wants
David.
to ask a question and unmute your line?
Yeah, I was curious as far as these nodes go. Now, do they operate just on a Linux or however you pronounce it system, or can it operate on like say a Microsoft Windows system?
Well, the device itself, the node itself, you can literally think of it as your router. So you have your devices inside your network or inside of your house. It could be a Linux device. I think you're saying Linux or Windows, or doesn't matter, Apple. None of that matters, because the function of this device is to take all data, doesn't matter what it's coming, it can be coming from your fridge because they have smart fridges and all these different things, is to take that data, filter it through this. Think of it like a filter. It'll filter out what's to go in and out of your household. And when it comes to actually configuring it, meaning logging into the device itself, it doesn't matter what operating system you're using. It's going to have some sort of interface, I'm guessing. And usually, like servers, like I could just think from when I used to work, you log into it from an interface. So it'd be just like logging into a web page. You'll bring up your address of your device that you give it when you set it up. You'll be able to log in and configure it accordingly. So what you have on your end should not matter with regards to how you access this page.
Okay, and then also I guess the nodes will protect you from the viruses, malware, and hackers.
By default, so that's a loaded question, but the reason why I say it's loaded, let me just back up a bit. The issue with viruses and things of that nature is like, you can have the most secure network in the world, but you also have to communicate with the internet. So that boils down to you giving consent back and forth. So when I'm surfing on the internet and I go to a website, if a message pops up, if I don't click it, I'm protected. It's not going to just get into my network. But if I click it, that's me giving consent to allow that pop-up to push whatever it wants onto my network. Now, that's part one. Part two would be, let's say you download a virus, and this particular virus uses certain ports to communicate back to its owner, I guess you can say. By default, this device will block those ports. So it's not to say that you can't get a virus, but it is to say that if you did get a virus, this particular device will have the ability, depending on the virus, to block certain ports. And those ports, when they're blocked, hopefully you have an antivirus software on your computer that will tell you, hey, I have a virus, et cetera, et cetera. But I never want to give the impression to believe that any system can stop viruses. You know, that's sort of a misconception, because if you give consent, meaning you click or somebody sends you an email and you open up an attachment, you will get a virus. You can't stop that. And what should happen is your antivirus system should tell you, hey, you just did something and now you have virus, whatever the virus is called. But stopping it by default, this filter, because I've noted, I would say just going off of the fact from the phone, by default, Clear blocks everything and you have to allow things. But that allowing would also mean if I click on an email or click on a virus and allow that virus, then it can't stop that because it doesn't know that's a virus. It might have been a legitimate site you was trying to get to, right? So I hope that helps a little bit.
So there might be software on top to manage that, to add another layer of security.
Possibly, yes.
And I would invite David to come and join us on the Ripple call on Tuesday night.
Tomorrow.
The person that invited you, you could talk directly to Michael Proper himself and answer these great questions. Because again, we're in pre-launch. The nerds are not out yet. I haven't touched one myself. And so a lot of these questions are a little speculative. And so I would definitely come on the call on Tuesday night.
Tomorrow.
What time is it, May? Is it
7:30.
7:30.
7:30? get with the person that invited you tonight. You're welcome to come on board and ask those questions.
Okay. I did make one change just recently. I was having some problems where it looks like somebody was snooping around with all my control because it seemed like a little pointer going somewhere. So I had McAfee help me, and they kind of recommend me going to using the Microsoft browser. And then even after that, they helped me out because they had remote access where they'd tweeting this, tweeting that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I approve, you know, McAfee, I can approve them to have a remote. But then all of a sudden I noticed I was in the Google browser and I noticed that here that seemed like that same pointer was moving on its own again. So I was like, okay. So I think I kind of fixed that problem. I just deleted that Google browser off my computer. Right now I'm watching this using the Microsoft Edge. And so I'm using the Windows 10 and I haven't any problems so far. And then plus it seems like whenever I turn on my computer, boom, it's clicks up, it loads a lot faster. And then when I go to the browser, that pops on. So they say the Google browser was faster than the Microsoft, but I think this seems like it's doing a lot better. I think the Google was actually slowing my system down compared to actually speeding it up.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, David, for sharing your experience. I just want to give some time to other people while we're around. We're going to have to end the call
Okay.
in the next few minutes. Anybody else have a questions? If not, that's a wrap. Hopefully we see everybody tomorrow. Try to attend tomorrow's call. There's probably, I can imagine a lot of people are going to raise some questions on the ClearNode. And as I say, I try to ask Michael for when he's going to raise the price. He just would not tell me. So he just considered this is the warning. That's what he told me. So there you go. Alrighty. So you guys have a nice evening. And I'm going to stop the recording now.
Thank you, May, and everybody.